Kharge Sahab.
Yes, Kaliket Singh Deji. You go.
Madam,
I have taken you.
Thank you, madam. Kharge Sahab, request. Let me speak.
अरविंद जी बैठिए.
Madam, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak on this motion of calling attention.
ये जो नाम आवश्यक नहीं लिए जाते हैं डिबेट में, कोई बार-बार को क्यों खींचते हो? इशरत जहां का चल रहा है सवाल, उसी पर बोलो. ये अलग-अलग नाम नहीं होना चाहिए. निकाल दो. Not necessary. Yes, Kaliket Singh Deji. सावरकर जी पर अभी नहीं घसीट.
अबे उनका रिकॉर्ड में नहीं गया साहब. Thank you, madam, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the issue of this calling attention.
I know. अरविंद जी बैठिए. क्या पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर? ये तो अलग से कॉलिंग अटेंशन चल रहा है. मुझे मालूम है सावरकर जी को मैंने भी सबसे ज्यादा पढ़ा है. हमें पढ़ना पड़ेगा, समझना पड़ेगा. ये सब महान लोग थे, इनको इसमें नहीं घसीटना चाहिए. बैठिए. नो नथिंग. यस प्लीज.
Asauddin ji, please let me finish. Let me finish, sir. Ma'am, thank you. I'm the only non-BJP member to speak on this.
ये भी कोई नहीं है. आपने दिया.
So I am requesting the House through you, madam, to please bear with me, be a little indulgent to me, be a little patient to me.
Yes, please.
Madam, the passion we have seen in this debate is reflective of the politics around the Ishrat Jahan case. I have read the...
थोड़ा समय है, आप उसी में बात रखिए.
Ma'am, I am requesting your indulgence, madam. You've given 20 minutes to the first mover. I request your indulgence. Madam, I have read the reply of the Honorable Minister. It is what I expected. An example of the politics brought out in this particular case. Madam, the reply of the Honorable Minister has selectively quoted certain parts of the affidavit and left out to the imagination other parts. And I say that with authority, madam, because I have copies of both the affidavits, the first affidavit as well as the second affidavit. Madam, this case of extrajudicial killing of Ishrat Jahan and the other terrorists, and I say that because 3 inquiries have found it to be so. Extrajudicial killing, namely named by the Additional Judicial Magistrate of Ahmedabad, first, the SIT, second, and the CBI, third. All 3 inquiries have said the encounter was fake. The encounter was staged. I am surprised that my friend, the Honorable Member Nishikant Dubey ji, has said, if terrorists come to kill us, we'll kill them.
Yes.
Is this the law of the land, madam? Even if Ishrat Jahan was a terrorist, she has a right, as per the Constitution, to go to follow the judicial process. To follow the judicial process. She has a right to justice. The courts have to decide, madam, what the punishment of any terrorist is. If we give that power of judge, jury, executioner to the police, we will have no control on the excesses made by the police. And I am certain the Honorable Home Minister will agree with me on that. To go on, madam. Sun lijiye with patience, madam.
Yes.
To go on, madam.
Actually, by rule, only you have to make clarification.
Madam, you...
Please.
I beg your indulgence, madam.
According to rule, mover can speak. I am giving him.
Please.
I am allowing him. According to rule.
Madam,
read about calling attention.
She's allowing me. Madam,
no,
I agree with you, madam.
No,
the first mover has 10 minutes and we as second mover have 5 minutes, madam. I beg your indulgence.
I'm giving you the time, but
thank you, madam.
Use that time nicely.
Thank you, madam. Yes. Thank you, madam. Madam, 3 SITs chiefs were named in this case.
Yes.
As I'm responding to my friend Nishikant Dubey ji.
You don't respond to him. You say whatever you
madam.
It is not
all right, madam.
Something.
I apologize. I take it back.
Please. Please understand what is calling attention.
Ma'am, I understand.
You
ma'am.
don't respond to him, otherwise your time will be.
Ma'am, I understand. I'm not talking about
your
Kanhaiya
leader.
Kumar, madam.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Kanhaiya Kumar. I'm talking about Ishrat Jahan
Don't
case.
come. Yes.
I'm talking about the affidavits of Ishrat Jahan
Rightly,
case.
rightly.
Madam.
बैठिए, बैठिए.
Madam, with respect, I will urge you that this disturbances not be taken out of my time. Madam, the politics around the Ishrat Jahan case has ensured or exemplified the deep-rooted rot which is set into our criminal judicial system. And it is not that I am saying this government has done it or that government has done it. I am saying political parties across the board, and I say this with responsibility, madam, both the UPA in its time and the NDA in its time have attempted to play politics with the case of Ishrat Jahan rather than give justice to the entire incident or the case which has been registered. This particular incident has destroyed the credibility of the IB and the CBI. Cases of coercion, cases of torture have been referred to, both by members of the IB and members of the Home Ministry, the person who wrote this affidavit. The change in the affidavit, madam, which the Home Minister alluded to in his reply, but has not elaborated on, is the basic change that the kind of intelligence input the affidavit suggests, the first affidavit suggests. There are three primary reasons where one may assume Ishrat Jahan was a terrorist. One, she was in the company of three people who are known to be having links with LET or activists of LET. First. Second, because at some point of time, the mouthpiece, a website of the LET called Ghazwa Times, admitted to Ishrat Jahan being an LET activist. Further to that, Jamaat ud-Dawa, another mouthpiece of the same LET, retracted that information. This was the basis on which, in the first affidavit, the Home Ministry came to a conclusion that she was a terrorist. Madam, I want to ask you, is this the level of intelligence that we have in our country? Both, the UPA government in its time and the NDA government today need to realize that intelligence cannot be gossip.
Yes.
Madam,
Please.
please allow me to speak. Please allow me to speak.
Please try to
Madam,
conclude now.
Madam,
Yes.
intelligence, if by the mention of our names in a foreign website, on a foreign newspaper, we become terrorists, madam, and tomorrow your name, my name, the Prime Minister's name could be mentioned by them. Does that make us terrorists? Does that make us terrorists? There was investigation. By the CBI and the IB, there was investigation on this matter. And out of 45 days that Ishrat Jahan had known Javed, 30 days she was present in her college, proved by her attendance register. 15 days is the need of absence which was required, which the CBI investigated, and it's been 12 years, madam. Not one case has been brought forward to collaborate that evidence. Madam, what has happened now as a result of this is the political machination of the entire case. The patronage shown both by the UPA in its time and now shown by the NDA. Madam, the three SID chiefs, one of which is a member of our house, is a member of the BJP. He resigned by his own admission in court, saying that he did not understand Gujarati, and he was a friend of the chief accused, Mr. P. Pandey. Madam, the second SID chief who resigned is now the director of the Enforcement Directorate. Madam, Mr. Verma, and I say that because it's been quoted in many newspapers, I'm not trying to implicate anybody, the man that the Congress, or the UPA put in place to try the case, where cases of torture have been registered against him, was in the making of finding a high position in the then government. But if the politics is not restricted only to the
now
UPA.
Conclude.
Ma'am, I'm concluding, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm concluding.
Please.
The politics was also in the government of Gujarat. And I quote to you from a sting operation which has been given as evidence to the CBI and finds his place in the court. Madam, this is and somehow Gujarat has a lot of sting operations. But the sting operation is a conversation between the then Joint Commissioner of Police in charge of this case and the investigating officer, Mr. Singhal. And this sting operation is done by Mr. Singhal himself. Madam, he says that order for Abhichandani, in brackets, advocate for RVS Money, through whom the first affidavit was filed in the Gujarat High Court. Is that order done? Mr. Singhal says, ji sir, ho gaya. Mr. Pandey says, tell Abhichandani, if he does properly, he may try to make him a High Court judge. So the influence or the attempt to influence this investigation has happened from both sides. Yeah. The government of India as well as state government. Madam, what is suffered in this whole event? Justice has suffered, madam. The CBI and the IB have suffered. The case is not whether Ishrat Jahan was a terrorist or not. The case is of an extrajudicial killing and fake encounter, which is now pending in the High Court of Gujarat. The case has not found any merit, even after the charge sheet was filed in 2013. It's been 3 years. First, the UPA government did not get permission for prosecuting the 4 IB officials. And now this government has not given permission for prosecuting the 4 IB officials. The 7 accused from Gujarat police, 3 of which have retired, 4 are still in service, have all been promoted. Yes. One of them is the Director General of Police in Gujarat right now, DGP. What is the impact of this case? What are we discussing? My friend is right when he says we are doing vote bank politics. We are both doing vote bank politics.
Yes, please conclude.
Both the NDA and the UPA are doing vote bank politics. My clarification to the minister, madam. I had a lot to say, and yes, you've been very indulgent. I'm grateful to you. But my clarification to the minister is very specific. Both these affidavits do not find any mention in the charge sheet. Are they relevant to the case in any manner? Are they relevant to the case in any manner? If they were relevant, madam, they would have found a place in the charge sheet.
Thank you.
But I would like to know from the Honourable Minister whether these 2 affidavits, if the second affidavit was not given, would it have impacted the case in any manner? My belief is it's not. And if not, madam, why is it that 3 years have passed and the case has not come to a natural conclusion? Why are we seeking an eye for an eye revenge rather than allowing the courts to do its duty? We are eating, madam, into the very roots of democracy, weakening the institutions of democracy in our country. Yes. We as lawmakers, madam, cannot be seen as partisan, cannot be seen as breaking the law, manipulating the law, or trying to influence natural progress of investigation. Thank you, madam.
Satyapal, now all